National parks are created to preserve treasured land, but they're facing an unnatural threat. Tonight, we continue our Access Across Arizona series, heading to two national parks in the state, Petrified Forest National Park and Saguaro National Park. As Cronkite News reporter Tyler Fingert found out, theft is a problem plaguing parks across the country.
Across the desert landscape, their silhouette is unmistakable.
The saguaros can be quite tall and it makes you feel really small.
We took one picture with both of us because it was massive. I would never have dreamed they got that big.
At Saguaro National Park near Tucson, cacti are the main attraction.
You feel like you're so much a part of the desert and just surrounded by these beautiful cactuses.
But the park's namesake cactus is facing a threat from thieves.
It's ironic that we set aside great places like Saguaro National Park and people think that they can just come take the iconic cactus for which the park is named.
It's not a problem that's happening every day, but it's an ongoing problem.
While the park doesn't have specific numbers on how many cacti have disappeared, they say they know it's happening because they found holes where cacti used to stand. Kevin Dahl works with the National Parks Conservation Association. He says being a cactus thief can be lucrative. Each one can fetch $100 or more per foot.
It's absolute robbery and it's absolute criminal activity, and it's for profit. A mature saguaro in a landscape adds something to the value of the home or the business that's for sale or rent.
To try to prevent theft, the National Park Service has turned to technology, putting tiny passive trackers in some of their cacti, allowing them to identify ones stolen from the park. Of the roughly 1.9 million saguaro cacti, only 1,000 of them are tagged, the ones easily accessible and easily transplanted. The trackers, which are similar to pet microchips, don't actively broadcast a signal, so if a cactus goes missing, the only way to know if it's from the park is to scan it using a reader.
Our biggest hope is that it's a deterrent, that people recognize that if they steal cacti from Saguaro National Park, that there's a chance that we're going to be able to identify that cactus came from the park.
Theft is also an issue at Petrified Forest National Park. Bill Parker leads the Natural and Cultural Resources team there. At one point, the park estimated 12 tons of petrified wood were being walked off with every year. But now they say the problem isn't as bad as first thought.
The resource is still intact and in really good shape. Some people do still take wood and we catch them and give them tickets. But whole areas aren't being stripped clean as was thought in the past.
The park turned to photography to test the theory, taking century-old photographs and recreating them. And the results? If you look at photos from today, most of the artifacts are still intact.
It's a souvenir that people want, but one thing the photography project has showed us is that most people do the right thing.
Well, they say wood theft is not a problem here at the park. They do have signs up on trails warning people not to take it.
While technology is helping to track natural resources, education is still a huge part of keeping parks pristine, to make sure that visitors understand the national parks are saved by the people, for the people.
It's a selfish thing when someone does an act of vandalism or steals something from a national park, and it's selfish and it's an act against the American public.
Pieces of American history being taken from some of America's most treasured land. At Petrified Forest National Park, Tyler Fingert, Cronkite News.